शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय
शिव शंकर का गुणगान करो, शिव भक्ति का रस पान करो।
जीवन ज्योतिर्मय हो जाए, ज्योतिर्लिंगों का ध्यान करो।
शिव शंकर का गुणगान करो। ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय
Islam and greetings, Moors. Welcome back to another episode of Pardon the Interjection. I'm your host, Supreme L. And I want to give extremely high honors to your prophet, my prophet, our prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and all the active Moors. Here on Pardon the Interjection, we dig up information to divulge to the people in the upliftment of fallen humanity. And yes, we have fallen, but now it's time where we get up where we fell. And we fell as Moors. So we are Moors. That's who we're going to be, who we was, is, and going to be. And with that being said, I want to finish the Clocks of Destiny Volume 1 on this show today, and that's going to wrap it up for the Clocks of Destiny Volume 1 series that we're bringing to you. Now, without further ado, we're going to get right into it. The Clocks of Destiny, Volume 1. The 12 Signs of the Zodiac. The above constitutes the real book, the Holy Quran, pardon the interjection, with a K. Also, the real picture of Muhammad. The Muslims have never painted the picture of Muhammad in the likeness of a son of a woman. Such painting is of the Christian artists of deception. Having read the complete geography of the 12 signs of the zodiac, the above symbols of the earth revolving about the sun gives you a tangible illustration of latitude, north and south equator. The curved lines as shown leading from the North Pole to the South Pole describes the hourly rotation of the earth, which measures the 24 hours of the day, and are referred to as longitude, east and west, or spring and fall. And pardon the interjection, I'm not going to put the illustrations in here because I implore you to get a copy of the Clocks of Destiny so you can see for yourself. Pardon the interjection. The circled lines as shown connecting with rays of the sun describe the months and seasons of the year and are referred to as latitude north and latitude south, summer and winter, or north and south. The law of gravitation, what goes up also comes down. In Christian religious mythology, the earth is referred to as the apple. First slice constitutes the spring season, March 21st to June 21st, 90 degrees. The second slice constitutes the summer season, June 22nd to September 22nd, 180 degrees. The third slice constitutes the fall season, September 23rd to December 20th, 270 degrees. The fourth slice constitutes the winter season, December 21st to March 20th, 360 degrees. The myth of Adam and Eve and the tree of forbidden fruit is also founded upon the Earth's annual revolution of 360 degrees, the circling Earth crossing the equator into the northern hemisphere of the Tropic of Cancer on March 21st, and recrossing the equator into the southern hemisphere on the Tropic of Cancer on September 23rd, is referred to in Christian mythology as snake or serpent, and in science as serpentine. Be wise as the serpent. The above diagram speaks one universal language, also equals the power of 10,000 words in terms of concrete facts. Where do we go from here? The preceding diagram has proven that the earth is all there is in life for the human family. It is both moon and sun, and because of this fact contains all the elements of nature. Therefore, it is the great atomic powerhouse and cannot be destroyed by atomic bombs. The atomic bomb has already done its constructive work by destroying the mythical doctrine of the Christian nations of the world, involving the white, end quote, Son, Christ, end quote, upon the cross. It is not the atomic bomb which the Christians fear, but the scientific truth, thus, that which the Christians of the United States of America have dreaded the most has at last come upon them. You might ask yourself this question: where do the Christians go from here? Remember, the dead white, end quote, sun idol is the last political god weapon of the lily white, end quote, world. Scientific facts, or truth, is sharper than a two-edged sword. So give back to the Christians that which belongs to them, namely the Bible, the church, the Christ and Mary idol, and names such as Negro, colored, black, African, Indian, yellow, and red race or people, and accept your own culture as shown in this book. You will then go in global history as winning the greatest victory ever over the evil tradition of white, quote-unquote, supremacy that the world has ever known. It is true that the Christians control commerce, the atomic bomb, industry, production, distribution, munitions plants, labor unions, and a powerful military force, all of which cannot compete with that great body of truth as shown in the illustrated 12 signs of the zodiac, sharper than a two-edged sword. Let us win the victory of peace, justice, and human equality without firing a gun. Remember, we are Asiatics, the majority of the human family, and the white people, quote-unquote, are Europeans, quote-unquote, the minority of the human family, who have unfortunately declined to an all-time low, mentally, morally, and physically. This has made them blind to truth and are murderers, criminals, otherwise by trade. 60% of their culture over the radio and TV involves crime and murder. The other 40% is shown in actual reality, involving color, racial prejudice, discrimination, segregation, and human injustice. Therefore, they badly need our help, and the only way we can help them is to denounce that which they have taught us to believe, and accept our own culture, science, in parentheses. We get out of life as good as we create. When we rely upon others to study the secrets of nature and think and act for us, then we have created in life for ourselves that which is termed hell. So science, pardon me. So study science and support your constructive thoughts by positive action. Thereby solve your own economic problems. As it stands today, the Asiatics of the U.SA are begging and relying upon the white people, quote unquote, to solve their economic problems. Remember, beggars have no choice. So, let the dead bury the dead. Thereby realize the fact that you are one among the living Asiatic nation, the fathers and mothers of civilization, Islam. The scientific symbols of the zodiac. And pardon the interjection. Again, there's a diagram here by Brother C.M.Bey, but I'm not going to put it up. I'm going to implore you to get the clocks of destiny yourself and see for yourself. Islam. Pardon the interjection, and we continue. The foundation of the dollar system of the U.SA was handed down by the Moorish nation. That is the basic reason why the U.S. dollar has ranked superior over all other quote-unquote money of the Christian nations of the world today. The picture of the Patagonian blonde woman on the U.S. money automatically made the white woman, quote-unquote, the head god of the Christian world of corruption and crime. In God we trust on the U.S. money is tangible evidence. Carte blanche, French, which defines in English as full permission. En masse, French, which is defined in English as one body. E pluribus unum, opposed to truth, human justice, and moral principles, Christianity. The above cut constitutes the scientific symbol of the 12 signs of the zodiac. They are often referred to as the tools of the master builders of civilization, which simply implies woman and sons. You and me, Islam, or I am, the ever-present law of moral principle and perfection. The inalterable fact is that all religious superstition and secret order superstition of the entire human family of the world of today is founded upon the above scientific symbols. The universal truth has been crucified by falsehood. In other words, secret order and religious superstition, Christianity, in parentheses, or isms. Symbol number 1, pardon the interjection, and these is going to be the symbols that you see on the picture of the diagram once you get the book. I'm just going to read them out. And we continue. Symbol number 1, universal, Islam. Symbol number 1 represents the square, an angle of 90 degrees, or the fourth part of a circle. The level and plumb are symbols of the 3 basic principles of our being. They enter into everything of a physical nature and are, namely, spirit or life, mind or motion, and substance from or matter. Life, mind, and form symbolizes the great triangle. The number 9 represents the law of fulfillment, also universal physical manifestation on the plane of life. 3 into 9 equals 3 times. This division of 9 involves the 3rd and the 33rd degrees, all of which boils down to the 3, or 3 degrees of life, mind, and form. Here's how the 33rd degrees are built. 3 times 3. We omit the time sign, which results in 33. All there is 3 times 3 equals 9. This process has cleared up the mystery of the Christian 33rd degrees. Pardon me. Symbol 2 and 3. Universal. Symbol number 2 represents the level or negative. Symbol number 3 represents the line or positive, as we are negative when sleeping on the level and are positive when awake and standing erect. It is important we understand these principles of our being and what our thoughts are doing for us when we go from the level to the perpendicular or the negative to the positive. They have made us what we are now, manifesting in the age of universal truth, the atomic age. Symbol number 4, universal, Islam. Symbol number 4 represents the great triangle, the supreme height of our universal mind and wisdom, perfection and moral principles, often referred to in our religion of Islam mystery as Mecca, and in the European or white people quote-unquote religion of Christianity mystery as Vol.1, Calvary, Mount Golgotha, the place of the skull or pyramid. The preceding triangular symbol is on the reverse side of the United States $1 of 1928. The following is the Arabic language of they have missing letter there, pardon the interjection. But like I said, I'm going to make it up and make it right as we go. The following is the Arabic language of the kinky-haired Moorish woman who founded the Order of Islam upon mathematics, the square and angle, the level and the plumb, and the Great Triangle 1367 years ago. Arabic. Jal Haku wa Zahakul. Translation: the truth has come. Ana'il Haq. Translation: I am the truth. Inni anallahu la ilha ana. Translation: truly I am God. Besides me there is no other. Yes, the kinky-haired Asiatic woman is the God of humanity. Pardon the interjection. I want to go and read that again for those who missed that. Yes, the kinky-haired Asiatic woman is the God of humanity. The following is the great phrase on the dollar of the Moorish woman prior to the rise of the Order of Rome. Allah Tua Cult. Translation: in God have I trusted, namely self with moral principle. And pardon the interjection, let me go back to that with that point right there. If you go back on my previous shows on pardon the interjection on my channel, on this channel here, you can go back and you can see where I have United States penny, and it's 1893 or 97 penny, I think it is, and it has a woman on it. No man, it don't have no man or nothing on it. It has a woman on it with a headdress. So I implore you to go check that out, skim through the videos and find that. A Moorish American woman is on the penny, United States penny of 1896 or 1897, which one I think it is, 97 I think. But even just that's yesterday compared to times. Okay, so please, I implore you to check that out. And pardon the interjection, and we continue. 0%. Oh, pardon me. See, this is really 0, and that's it represents. They're missing the RE there, but we're gonna get it right. 0 represent the circle of 360 degrees. 0 is the symbol of the earth. Out of darkness comes light. 1 into 360 degrees equals 360 times. This division makes the penny the master of the dollar system universally. 2 into 360 degrees equals 180 times. This division represents the scales of weight in the category of commerce and distribution. 3 into 360 degrees equals 120 times. This division represents the Great Triangle, the height of economic and social progress. 4. 4 into 360 degrees equals 90 times. This division represents the square and equal an angle of 90 degrees, or the fourth part of the earth, and the dollar, the wheel of progress. They don't have 5 here, pardon me. They just jumped right to 6. So, pardon the interjection. 6. 6 into 360 degrees equals 60 times. This division represents the 60 minutes of the hour, also organized labor. 7 into 360 degrees equals 51 times and 3 over. This division represents the brain trust of organized labor, the nation, woman. 8. 8 into 360 degrees equals 45 times. This division represents the 8 hours per day involving labor unions, also the angle of events involving economics and military procedure, the sons of war, death and destruction, Christianity. 9. 9 into 360 degrees equals 40 times. This division represents the manifestation of the higher mind on the physical and mental plane of being. The highest law of Islam, which simply means I am, the universal moral law, namely you and me, the sons of the Asiatic woman, the great God of the human family, who declared some 1367 years ago, Ani, Analuhu, La, and Ilaho, Ilah, Ani. Truly, I am God, Allah. Besides me, there is no other. The Asiatic woman is definitely not a secret nor mystery. She is a reality, the living God of humanity. 12. 12 to 360 degrees equals 30 times. This division represents the 12 divisions of the year, referred to as months. 12 completes the cycle of creation on this planet, namely Earth, and shows how the law of agreement or unity works universally. The number 12 reduces to 3, as 1 and 2 equals 3. 3 into 9 equals 3 times. And 3 into 12 equals 4 times. Thus, 3 represents the 3 months of each season, and 4 represents the 4 seasons of the year: spring, summer, fall, and winter. All there is. Having observed the diagram of the Earth axis to its orbit reflects 12 different crescent or moon shapes, light and darkness, during its annual revolution of 360 degrees. You should by reason become awakened to this fact. You yourself are the so-called great secret and password and mystery. The daughters and sons of the lily-white quote-unquote nations of the Roman order has been obligated to die before they awaken the Asiatics of the U.S.A. to the scientific remnants, rudiments, to the scientific rudiments of the foregone Islamic law. The writer as an Asiatic in harmony with his law. The preceding division of 9 and 12 by the figure 3 represents the circle 7 as a science of Islam. 3 and 4 equals 7. Thus, the great mystery of the world has passed away to never return. Islam, or I am. When we employ the phrase I am, we have expressed the highest phrase of creation, namely ourselves, which symbolizes the letter 1, or I. Let us face facts as follows. The Asiatic woman is God, and I am the son of God. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and back to 0. Dot A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Dot. If you should attempt to establish an argument against this absolute code of mathematical and alphabetical facts, then you might be considered as the living dead, that is mentally dead or insane. Well, Due to religious mystery, 95% of the population of the U.SA will attempt to establish an argument against the preceding absolute facts. The power of religious superstitions has unfortunately made the U.S.A an insane institution. Highly educated holding titles of degrees such as AB, AM, PhD, LLD, SB, and SM, but unfortunately lost from or for lack of common sense or rational reasoning. Have you ever stopped to think that common sense, the very height of science? Cosmic yardstick. 10. 10 into 360 degrees equals 36 times. This division represents the 36 inches of the yard of the measurement of material and geographical space. 3 times 12 equals 36, which reduces to the number 9 as 3 and 6 equals 9. The number 10 represents the manifestation of the negative and the positive forces of nature. No tenths and 1 or 1/10. 1 from 10 equals 9. How to solve the riddle of the universe. For instance, if you were to paper the ceiling of a room of your house and wish to know the correct measurement of paper needed, all you have to do is measure the floor on which you stand. So also, if you wish to know the correct measurements of the entire universe, the whole of creation, space, and time, all you have to do is measure the earth on which you live, Islam. The number 10 represents the letter X. The letter X represents the Earth's axis to its orbit during its annual revolution of 360 degrees, the level and the plumb. While the superstitious Muslim generation were fighting and destroying one another over superstitious religious titles or rulership, the ruddy pale-skinned daughters and sons resorted to science, the positive number 120 _ X, and rose to world domination as a result of the Muslim ignorance of their own scientific universal law. The positive 10 or X symbolizes the cross, the Earth's axis to its orbit, all there is, positive, plus. Disease which medicine cannot cure. Amalgamation is the only cure for the white people's quote-unquote disease. Had not the daughters of the revolution established the Roman code of isolation from the Moorish or Asiatic sons, the disease such as leprosy, tuberculosis, and syphilis would have been destroyed through amalgamation. Today, there are not enough hospitals, insane institutions, or prisons to accommodate the quote-unquote lily white people. Neither has medical science discovered a cure for the 3 diseases. Therefore, the DAR, Daughters of the Revolution Code, in parentheses, has caused the lily white quote-unquote people of the world to decline to an all-time low mentally, morally, and physically. Crime, in parentheses, leprosy is referred to as Lazarus in the Christian Bible. Diseases such as leprosy, TB, and syphilis was unknown prior to the creation of the blonde people. Prior to the creation of the ruddy-skinned, blonde-haired, bodied sons, the disease, namely leprosy, TB, and syphilis, was unknown to the kinky-haired, heavy olive hue, or dark brown-skinned Asiatic nation. Knowledge of biology, anatomy, organic chemistry, pigmentation, botany, and electronics, the magnetic law of opposite attraction involving steel and iron elements, influenced the Asiatic scientists bearing the name of Yaqub Kush or Kush to create the ruddy-skinned sons through animalistic experimentation so as to manifest the great human Boquet, B-O-Q-U-E-T, through a measurable process of global amalgamation with the Asiatic nation. Yaqub's creative human and animalistic experimentation had its beginning in the geographical mountain regions of Venezuela, Yucatan, the Honduras of Central America, embracing the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean Sea, and the Pacific Ocean, which resulted in the fall of civilization to rise again through ignorance, superstition, human hatred, amalgamation, medical science, human warfare, bloodshed, destruction, starvation, and sorrow. Such is the great price humanity has paid for the human Boquet. The Asiatic woman scientists are responsible for Yaqub's success. The Asiatic woman scientists agreed to amalgamate with Yaqub's first creation of ruddy-skinned sons, from which resulted in the reproduction of both ruddy blonde sons and feminine, which proved to be good and very good in harmony with Yaqub's dream. Although it required a long process of medical care and surgery to develop the physical form and mind of the blonde sons and feminine. Yaqub and staff scientists discovered that amalgamation between the Asiatic sons and blonde feminine was the greatest weapon to combat the new diseases, namely leprosy, TB, and syphilis, due to mass reproduction of Asiatic children. And as a result, it was necessary for the blonde sons to become social isolates on the isles of the high seas in order to prevent the spread of the new diseases, during which period the blonde women had lost their identity as the result of long process of amalgamation. The diseases also had disappeared with the ruddy shade of skin on global scales, all of which resulted in the light olive hue skinned Asiatics with straight and curly black hair and black eyes, endowed with cunning wisdom. This group resulted to amalgamation with the outcast blonde sons of the isles, or islands, which resulted in mass reproduction of blonde children who paved the way for the great rise of the outcast sons of leprosy, through the powerful, intriguing influence of the ruddy-skinned blonde daughters, referred to as the Red Queen tribal rulers, with their red son chieftains of vandalism in the northern hemisphere, the Indian Trail, quote unquote. The white people are the Indians. Yaqub is an Arabic name. Yaqub is referred to in the Christian Bible as Jacob. Thus the sons and their daughters of the head tribe of Yaqub finally caught up with civilization on August 6, 1945, the era of the atomic bomb. Names of deception and confusion. Yaqub's sons and daughters have given themselves many names, most common of which are Afghan or African, Indian, Spanish, Negro, Egyptians, Greco, Greek, Redman, Jew, and the last of which is China, or white people, quote unquote, and Ethiopian. The myth of white supremacy, referred to as the walls of China, the world of make-be-life, or make-believe. Pardon the interjection. When conversing with the so-called white people, if the subject of race, blood, color, and nationality should emanate from their lips, all you have to do is ask them this question: have you read the history of Yaqub? and as a result, the subject of blood, color, and race will come to an abrupt close without the argument of confusion. The question involves the history which the white people have taught you would never know. Warning. Above all, do not emotionally resort to hatred against the blonde children of Yaqub. Otherwise, you will be setting up a race of hatred against yourself due to the long process of global amalgamation. The entire human family have a slight percentage of the new dreadful disease, namely leprosy, TB, and syphilis, after World Conflict III. There would not be enough blonde sons left to continue the spread of the aforementioned diseases. The blonde, pardon the interjection. This book is like not really printed right. It has, someone should have spell checked this book. But okay, pardon the interjection. We're going to continue. The blonde woman will be spared to face the long evaded issue of on the global scales, namely amalgamation with the Asiatic sons, from which will destroy the cherished white quote-unquote skinned people and their disease in the course of 90 years, 3 generations of 30 years each. The era of the great battle on the Gulf of Mexico between the Muslims and the Christians. 1585 Christian calendar year, equivalent to 1500 Moorish calendar. The era which resulted in the destruction of the Moorish fleet or fort in parentheses in the Gulf of Mexico and the land of flowers, known today as Florida, and the island of Isabella, known today as Cuba. 1646 Christian calendar year, equivalent to 1066 Moorish calendar year. The year of the onward rush of vandalism, that is, burning Moorish cities and destroying everything else in the category of Moorish culture and design. The Christian educators have taught that those aforementioned events occurred in England across the Atlantic Ocean, involving the destruction of the Spanish Armada. Well, during that era, the island of Albion or Albine had not been named England. Therefore, there could not have been an English nation on that island, namely Albine. That island was under the rulership of the Muslims. Not only that island, but the whole entire chain of land known today as Europe. It has already been stated elsewhere in this book that the Latin phrase, namely Anglis, Anglice, is the phrase from which the phrase English was coined in the geographical regions of Virginia and New Jersey, the region of England of the lily-white quote-unquote world, covering from the Atlantic to the Pacific and from the equator to Alaska and Greenland, referred to as Royal Crown of England, dominating over the land of the Moors, the head of the Moroccan Empire of the Muslim world, Islam. After the formation of the United Republic of Rome in 1865, the statue of the stone god Christ was erected in Patagonia or Argentina in parentheses in the year 1892, which is equivalent to 1312 Moorish calendar year. That statue is referred to as the Christ of the Indies, the stone god of Roman nations of the world, dead culture. Dry bones in the valley of ignorance in the Christian world. Yaqub made the first ruddy pale-skinned sons through through animalistic experimentation. That's what this is. They have these typos in here. Pardon me, family, but we're going to get it right. Through animalistic experimentation, who reproduced or begets their kind through relationship with the Asiatic woman. The sons took the ruddy pale-skinned feminine of Asiatic mothers for their wives, so as to perpetrate. Why is that the Why is that there? Because this is perpetuate, not perpetrate. This is clearly perpetrate. Yes, perpetrate. It shouldn't say perpetrate. It's to perpetuate the reproduction of their kind, both feminine and male, namely ruddy pale skin, all of which were derived from the Asiatic woman and her son Yaqub. Thus the Asiatic woman is definitely the great god of love and wisdom who created the devil and her sons, who multiplied their kind, thereby converted the world into that which is termed hell, which involves false doctrine and education in the category of religion, dead culture. Let us remember that the white quote-unquote one is the pillar of the KKK, or K of C. She educates her sons during its 9 months maturity to destroy, fight, and die, in order that she might remain the god over the Asiatic nation. The white quote-unquote woman's scientific secret of educating her son during its 9 months maturity is referred to in their religion as the atoned or anointed ones. The code of Christianity. Thus the first and last Christian died on the cross of ignorance, violence, and human warfare. The foregone conclusion has fully explained the white quote-unquote sun image, the Christ of the Andes, also the God of love and wisdom, and the God of hatred and destruction. Conclusion. Through scientific knowledge of the universal law of nature as shown in the 12 signs of zodiac and the square and angle of 90 degrees, the monetary or dollar system was founded by the cultured Moors. Money has not and never will uplift fallen humanity or nations. It requires a national and international mass education of the universal law of nature as shown in the 12 signs of the zodiac to establish peace and uplift humanity. Moral principles generates from the science of the 12 signs of the zodiac as shown by the 4 quarters of 90 degrees, each which represents the 4 quarters of the earth. Also, the 4 quarters of the dollar as a medium of exchange on global scales. In order for the common masses on global scales to understand in order for the common masses on global scales to understand the applied moral principles of the dollar system, it is necessary to temporarily destroy the dollar system until the signs of the 12 signs of the zodiac has been taught on global scales. Then the dollar system can immediately be reestablished with moral principles, equality, justice, peace, and progress, minus the slave institutions known as mosque, church, and temple. The Moors of the U.SA are the only ones qualified to teach the science and principles of the 12 signs of the zodiac. Islam. And to give high honors, extremely high honors to Brother C.M.Bey for bringing us that. And that concludes part 3 of The Clock of Destiny, Volume 1, Your Master Key of Civilization, The 12 Signs of the Zodiac, by our good brother, and I want to give him thanks, peace and blessings be upon his spirit, Brother C.M.Bey. Thank you for bringing this information, and we will be bringing part 2, Clocks of Destiny, Volume 2. That's going to be following this series shortly behind it, and it's been a pleasure and an honor to do this one, part 1, and get this one established. So I want to give love and honors again to my good brother C.M.Bey. And with that being said, the information is out there, family. It's definitely out there. So go check it out. Don't believe me. Don't believe me. Go. Check it out for yourself, and you'll be amazed at the jewels you'll find on your treasure hunt, Moors. Trust. With that being said, thank you for joining me on another episode of Part of the Interjection. I'm your host, Supreme L. Until next time, stay safe. Stay safe, Moors. And as I say always, Islam, love, and peace forever, Moors.
So what's going on in the world? That's what conscious rap means. So if you got conscious rap, that means you got unconscious rap. That means you got motherfuckers that's unconscious rap. That means they sleep in this. They still under the spell. Right. They still under the spell. King.
Call me brother man, I'm not the rubber man. Though I keep my Nazis in affairs wrapped with some rubber bands. Burning out the Ku Klux Klan and where's the Grand Dairy Queen misters. Just butts of guns I'm giving. Trying to make more sovereign citizens. These minions help kill your prophets, stole your treasury millions. You heard it from your brother man, not a smother sellout. Cess links in K2 Kush days, keep me red out. I got the knowledge to make these silly hoes question the pimpin' directors of music videos. Gaylords and persons with strap-on boots with heels. Too much graphic art faces, boobs are not real. Since MCM and Troop, they use Timberland boots to get us all caught up in fashion, not the simple men roots. Got our people on dogmatic, not metaphysic. Exoteric, not esoteric is how you missed it. So out of it you couldn't feel the natural mystic blowing through the air like it didn't give a shit. I hear the dirty Moors dissing, cause I said profanities. A lot of these grand sheets need to take off the panties. Pull the thong out your crack fez wearing bitch ass nigga. Return to where the prophet found you, negro ass nigga.
It's time to choose a side. You either positive or you negative. You either evil or you good. You understand what I'm saying? Choose a side, nigga. I know what side I'm on.
I throw a Molotov at the priest that works for the beast. All they want is our people to rest in peace. No attention of allowing more stress to ease. Cracker won't go home to spread himself the disease. Genocidal epidemic kill us in high proportions. Instead of mummified, we stay boxed in coffins. Mayors attend funerals for PR purposes. Where's the police escort? He replied with nervousness. He said, I don't have those numbers or connections to have Metro Police lead your friend's funeral procession. That's coming from Mr. Mayor, black community player. No question in the hoods dropping off boxes of weapons. Then blame black on black crime or natural causes. Plus those doctors are not on point but off a bit. Natural mystics prove they're not holistic. Hypocrite oaths make your children autistic.
I'm at the point now, you know what I'm saying? I'm tired of mixing the medicine with the food. I'm tired of playing that game. Now I'm shoving straight medicine that can fucking broke, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Straight doses of medicine that didn't shut that down. I don't fuck